has the nerve to diss Carrie's curves.
I think she's a fat cow.
But her blind date
She has a flawless body.
went ape for her shape.
I should know because I touched every inch of it.
Meanwhile, Brian's blind date
He came out and he was in a towel.
got to see the junk in his trunk.
He took the towel off.
She had to see the goods.
Now, will their love survive? No ifs, ands, or buts?
That is a beautiful butt.
Or will they have a change of heart?
Welcome to Change of Heart. Let's meet today's couple. Now, this couple has a history that dates back to when they were both in the 8th grade. He went steady with her for 2 weeks. Every day, he'd walk her to the bus and kiss her goodbye. Then he kissed her off. Well, 5 months ago and 20 years later, they got back together. But now she says that she's seeing a different side of her childhood sweetheart, and that's what brought them here today. So give a warm welcome to Brian and Carrie Shows. Welcome to the show. Let me ask you about Brian. What's his big flaw as an adult?
Oh, he's the biggest male chauvinist pig. Oh, he's the worst. He wants his woman to stay home, cook,
Absolutely.
clean,
Doesn't every
have
guy
no
want
life,
them to
life
stay at
outside of the
home?
house. No, this is
Absolutely. They can have
this
kids.
is the year
They can stay
2000.
home. I'll give her some money to go do some shopping.
That's right.
You're a caveman. You're a
Absolutely.
caveman.
No.
And you know what?
Yeah.
He's not even shy about it.
No,
he's
no
right out
shame,
front.
no
Well, let's
shame.
face it. Every man wants that. They deserve that.
No, they
afraid
don't.
To say
No, they
so or
don't.
not.
No,
I'm
they
not
don't.
afraid to say so.
Now, Carrie, if you had to describe Brian's ideal woman, what would that be?
Boobs on a stick. That's his ideal woman. 5'2",
So I like 'em
99
thin.
pounds.
I like some definite size up there.
5 pounds of those would be in her chest.
Now, Brian, let's talk about bodies, and Carrie's in particular. You have a problem with hers?
Yeah, I think she's a fat cow. Yeah, she needs to stay in the gym. She needs to work out.
I work out 4 days a week. I look
Well, here's what I
fabulous.
wanna
She
know.
needs to lose some weight.
Brian, wait
I
a
can
minute.
tell. I mean, look, she totally worked it into this outfit today.
But Brian, are you and I looking at the same woman here? I'm like, come on, I must be seeing something different than you're looking at.
Well, I mean, believe me, she is tight in that outfit. I mean, it unravels when she takes it off.
He goes so
it does,
far.
it unravels.
Wait a minute, you've been a little harsh so far, but what do you admire about Carrie? There's got to be some good things.
Carrie is my girl. I mean, as far as she's my best friend, she's known me for forever.
A long time.
And she understands me. I'm joking a lot of the time,
Yeah.
but I mean, you can't ask for a better friend.
Very nice. Now, Brian, you said that you had a couple problems with her body. All right. What about in the kitchen? How does she rate there?
Her cooking sucks.
And she said that was
She thinks she knows how to cook. When we go to dinner, I mean, I have a nice meal. I'm like, Carrie, this is excellent. She's like, well, I can cook like that. And I go, yeah, you can.
Now, Carrie, if being romantic were a contest, where would Brian place in that contest?
Dead last.
He would be?
He's so unromantic. He forgot my
why
birthday
should I
this
spend-
year.
Wait. He forgot what?
Forgot my birthday.
Come on.
I had to remind him of Valentine's Day.
Hey, why should I spend $50 on flowers when I'll give her $50 to go buy a blouse or something?
Yeah, but it doesn't work that way.
I mean, this is all of probably about, what, $15 right there?
It would be
I'll
nice.
give you the money.
It would
But
be
it-
nice to be reminded.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
It's not about the money that
She
you
knew
need
I
to
knew
know.
it was her birthday, so maybe I forgot or something.
All right, Brian, how about you, though? Brian, when you and Carrie are together, anything Carrie does that sort of puts the damper on the mood, kills it?
Absolutely. God, she's married to her cell phone. We can't have a romantic evening without the cell phone, and that just kills the mood. I'm telling you.
Harry,
Take my phone.
why can't you turn it off or get off the phone?
I do. He's exaggerating.
No,
if I'm not paying
absolutely.
attention
I
to
mean,
him 100% of the time,
she
he
works,
feels neglected.
I work, but yet I put the phone in the car, in the glove compartment.
It's very distracting, right.
I mean, she's
Now-
got to answer it all the time.
All right, Carrie, we've heard some of the negatives about Brian, obviously. What about some of the positive side of your boyfriend here that we don't know about?
Deep down, he's a great guy. He's very fun and social.
Look at him.
And most of all, we share the same morals, and I respect that in him.
So a lot of standards.
She
And
knows
Brian,
what's
what is it that brought you guys to Change of Heart?
Well, I'm not tall, dark, and handsome, even though I got it going on. And, Carrie's not thin, brown hair. But, we thought by dating other people, are we as shallow as maybe people may think we are? Or are we really meant to be together? And
There you go.
so,
Just because you're different types, you don't know. Well, we're going to settle that for you here today. In fact, Carrie's date included some rubbing, touching, squeezing, and a sleepover. We're going to get the scoop next. All right, welcome back. We're here Carrie complains that Brian's a chauvinistic pig who's more interested in the size of a woman's breast than the size of her brain. So here's a guy who says he's no swine and natural women suit him just fine. Give out some love for Jeff Moy. Good to see you, man. How you doing? All right, have a seat. So, Jeff, any problems before you two hooked up, actually?
Well, I was a bit concerned. She called me on the phone and she said she had food poisoning.
Food poisoning?
Yeah, and so we had a phone conversation earlier because I told her that I didn't drink. So I was concerned that maybe she had a little
No,
problem.
I couldn't wait for the date. I really ate bad chicken the night before.
She needs to drop a few pounds anyway.
Man.
Now, Carrie, anything about Jeff that made you feel better, though, once he finally showed up?
Yeah, when he came to my house and we walked through the door, my first reaction was, this guy's yummy.
Yeah.
All right, now, Carrie, earlier you said Brian's not romantic. That was one of the problems. What about Jeff? Did he kick off the date with some sort of romantic gesture?
Yeah, we had talked on the phone about music, and he showed up with a beautifully wrapped little package, and it was 2 CDs that he thought I would like. And
Big spender!
then I thought, you know what? Brian would he would never do something like that ever.
Right.
He's not thoughtful.
Brian,
that way.
again, we go back to the thought that somebody puts into it. It's not the money that we're talking about here. That's
Oh, what is it? 2 CDs? I mean, come on, he stopped on the way to her house and picked up 2 CDs.
Now, Jeff, Brian said earlier that he thought Carrie's fat. You saw her, you hung out with her. What do you think?
Oh my God, she has a flawless body.
See? There you go. Come on,
It's
let's
all
stand up
muscle.
for us, would you
Come
please?
on.
Just to make sure. All right. Thank you, for confirming that
and
for us.
I should know because I touched every inch of it.
All right, more about that in a second.
You let him touch every inch of you.
Hang on, they were going out on a date. Now, Jeff, talking about Brian here, what impression did you get about this guy talking to Carrie about him?
Oh my God, what a moron. I mean, you never, ever tell a woman she's fat. I mean, that's like saying she's ugly or stupid. I mean, what was he thinking?
And you gotta
I
have
mean,
self-confidence, man. I mean, look at
self-confidence?
me. I got it going on as far as they ain't gonna say nothing about me.
then why did she agree to come on the show?
Well, you know, hey, maybe she thought that you would be something, but I mean, I
All
ain't
right.
impressed.
Now, Jeff, I know Carrie made your dinner plans for you, so did she pick something that was really romantic?
Oh, totally. We went to this old mission, and it was really cold out, so I held her close to me, and we walked in and we sat by the piano bar by the fire, had a couple drinks, and then we proceeded to walk outside and overlook the stars.
Very nice.
Yes.
So, Carrie, what about when you're hanging out with Jeff during dinner? Any sense of that oink attitude that Brian has?
Oh, no. He was totally focused on me the whole dinner, wanted to hear about everything I had to say, didn't even look at other women.
Oh, come on. I mean, he doesn't know what it's like to be with you all the time. I mean, it's a first date. Give me
Yeah,
a
but
break.
wait, no, Jeff, though, be honest with me here. What about when you were driving after dinner? Anything that you wanted to check out?
Well, yeah, her breasts. You know, I am a guy, okay?
Sure.
You know, she decided to change into this short tank top thing, and it was like, whether to keep my eyes on the road
She
or
knows
her
the way
breasts.
Daddy likes
You know,
it.
road
She
or the
knows.
breasts. You know, I mean, it was a difficult
She
decision.
knows.
Now, I understand that you guys went to an arcade after that. So there's all fun and games there, a lot of people, but what about some romance after that?
Well, we were shooting some little hoop, and I won a couple games, and I decided to give her a little kiss on the neck, you know.
Come
and,
on.
a little congratulatory.
She knows where
and
the
she
hoop
decided-
shooting's at.
Yeah,
Chris,
hoop
let me
shooting.
tell you. When we go play games.
Brick. Anyways, she gave me a little kiss on the neck back, and it was nice.
Now, Carrie, what about Jeff when you were at the arcade? Anything that really maybe you didn't like that turned you off a little?
Well, he's a funny guy, but his sense of humor went a little too far. He started teasing a doorman, and the next thing I know, the guy's practically like crying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jeff, a little harsh there, buddy.
Hey, Chris, I'm fun, but I don't make nobody cry.
I see.
Come on.
Now, Jeff, one of the things Brian complained about was that Carrie's always on the cell phone. Did you notice that, or was that even around?
Just once, we were in the middle of our date, and her girlfriend had called, and I decided to grab it from her and talk to her, and she asked...
Always got to be on the cell phone.
It was only once, and she asked if I was carrying a lot of luggage, and I told her that I didn't ever have any complaints.
Okay.
See what I'm talking
you know.
about? The cell phone. She's on a date. She's got to
Just
have
one
the cell
time.
phone. It
It's all
goes
right.
off. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
But so, Carrie, this discovery about his, quote, luggage, did that lead to any more questions?
Well, I asked if he wanted to spend the night.
What? What?
Uh-huh.
Spend the
So
Goodbye for what?
So, Jeff, you guys go back. Did you hang out and watch Letterman, or what was going on?
Well, we didn't do too much watching TV.
What happened to the moral?
She made this little bed by the TV, and we laid down, and we did a little kissing and a little touching and a little
What
kissing
happened to
and
these
touching.
morals?
Yeah, you know, hey.
I thought she had morals.
Well, wait, Brian, Carrie, could you please
on.
clarify for us what the sleeping arrangements were?
He slept with me in my bed.
Okay, I wasn't really sure. Now, Brian, is this the Carrie you know? You seemed a little taken by it.
Absolutely not. I'm in the same bed. I mean, come
Right.
on. I know nothing happened, but still.
Okay. Now, Carrie, I understand, too, that you guys had a really interesting goodbye. Tell us what happened there.
Oh, well, the next morning he said goodbye, gave me a nice kiss goodbye. Then suddenly he forgot a shirt, so he had to run upstairs to get a shirt. Came back down.
How do you
goodbye
forget a
again.
shirt?
Then this went on about 10 more times, and I finally caught on. I said, no, it's time for you to leave.
Oh, I see.
It's the blonde hair, you know. Catch on.
So, Jeff, describe the... Jeff, describe the final goodbye kiss.
Well, I walked over to her and picked her up off the ground, and she wrapped her strong legs around me, and I set her on the countertop and proceeded to just give her a long, passionate kiss goodbye.
Very nice. All right, now, coming up, Brian and his date played a game of I'll show you mine if you show me yours with their G-strings. We'll tell you about it next. Just heard about Carrie's scorcher of a date. Now it's time for Brian to keep our ears burning. Brian complains that Carrie is too fat, can't cook, and basically isn't his type. So we found him a thin Latina gal who says she's bitching in the kitchen and she's cooking where it counts. Say hello to Elizabeth Cortez. Seat. And Carrie, what do you think? Do you think Elizabeth is more of Brian's type?
She's a little small in the chest, but he can always buy those for her later.
Done it before. So.
So, Brian, I understand you guys actually jumped the gun, though, on the date. Tell us about that.
Well, let me tell you, our phone conversation, she sounded just as hot as she is. And so I can't wait. And I knew she was going out with a girlfriend to a club the night before. So me and a buddy hooked up and went to the club.
So you were scoping it out that night immediately.
Oh,
and Brian, how happy were you when you saw her the first time?
Well, let me tell you, she came in that club. We were standing in the entrance with tight leather pants on. And me and my buddy were digging on it.
You're like, yeah, all right. So that's nice. And Elizabeth, what about you when you saw Brian? Did that light your fire?
Oh, absolutely. He had great style, and he has this really cocky attitude.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he's really great.
You like that? Now, Carrie, she liked his style. What do you think about his wardrobe?
I know, I can't believe she said that. He dresses like a bum all the time. He wears flip-flops and thongs. It looks like he's going to the beach. He never dresses
She's
that
got to
funny,
see
ever.
the GQ, you know? She's got to see what's going on.
Now, Elizabeth, you guys met at a club, so I'm assuming there was some hot dancing going on there.
Oh, absolutely.
What was his moves like?
Oh, well, he was really working it on the dance floor, kind of like those Chippendale dancers.
Oh, God.
Like the chipmunks.
So at one point, he opened up his shirt and this ripping 8-pack came out. He had a hard body.
You're an 8.
I hear you.
Yeah.
You opened
the
your
booty,
shirt?
yeah.
How stupid.
Hey, you know, she had to see the goods.
There you go. So, Brian, now you went to pick her up for your real date. What was the initial conversation like that night?
Well, as far as, initially, how can you go wrong? When I picked her up, it was like, first, she gave me bad directions, but that's okay. That's okay. I got there, and I opened the door. She was just stunning. She was beautiful.
Right. Yeah. What about when you had to actually fill the time and talk to her? Any problems there?
Well, yeah. Her cell phone goes off about as much as Carrie's
Oh,
does.
again.
I
He
felt like...
was on his little speakerphone
Yeah, he
half
had the
the time
headset,
as well.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Elizabeth, we got to get your spin on this because obviously Carrie feels he's quite the chauvinistic pig. When you put the cell phone down and you had to deal with him, did you get that attitude?
Oh, not at all. He's really old-fashioned, and he likes to be the man, and he likes to let the woman be a woman, and you don't really find that. You know?
So you were okay with that
Oh,
then?
absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Now, Elizabeth, what about on the date? How did he cater to you? How did he show off?
Well, he was a perfect gentleman, and it was raining. It was like pouring rain, so he actually drove up to the doorstep and dropped me off. And so that I wouldn't get wet. And, you know, no guy does that in LA.
All right, very chivalrous. Elizabeth, I understand you guys were going to go to a party, so you had to put on your party dress, and where did you do that?
Okay, well, we went back to my place, and we took showers separately. And, and I'm a little shy, and he came out, and he was in a towel.
Were you checking out anything in particular?
Well, I looked, and at one point, he took the towel off, and he had this like G-string underwear thing on.
Right.
What are you doing?
What were you thinking?
What are you thinking, Mr. Morrill?
No, it wasn't that anything. It was like I had my underwear on, and she had to see my butt because, you know, chicks dig my ass. I go, look at this.
I don't know if we want you to take your pants down. No, that's okay. That's really more than we would ever want to see.
That is a beautiful butt.
It really is.
That is a beautiful butt.
Brian. So, Brian, besides the physical, tell us what else was turning you on about Elizabeth.
Her personality. She's a total pocket rocket. She walks into a room. Everybody just loves her instantly, whereas Carrie, you know, she's got the blonde hair. She's kind of a dingbat, you know. So, she's just got a great personality.
We understand. Now, Brian, you were at the party with her friends. Did she make you a priority? Did she lose you in the crowd?
Absolutely. It was a dinner party. She fixed me a plate of dinner. She introduced me to all her friends. I felt like a movie star.
So it was good.
It was great. It was really
Now,
good.
Elizabeth, he did something a little out of character at the end of the night, I hear. What was that about?
Well, he seemed like he was a little tired, so he offered to let me drive the Mercedes. And so he let me drive that, you know, home, and
You're kidding.
and apparently he never lets anyone
Even
do that.
Carrie's kind of surprised. So I'm thinking, Elizabeth, it had to be pretty late by the time you guys got home. Was it a quick goodbye after the end?
No, I asked him to come in, and he seemed a little tired, so I asked if he wanted to stay. And he said that he couldn't. He said he couldn't because he was a little tired. But so I gave him a hug, and it seemed like he wanted to kiss me, but he
I'm a little surprised here, Brian. Why didn't you go right in there for it?
Well, believe it or not, I am a gentleman, and out of respect for both girls, I really wanted to stay. I wanted to spend more time with her, but no, I just thought I'd give her a nice hug and leave it at that.
And left it there. Okay, very good. Will Brian and Elizabeth have another date? Final decisions are coming up next. Stay tuned. They came here after 5 months together because while they were content in the relationship, both admitted that the other was not really their physical ideal. What did dates with people who are more their type show them? Let's find out. Brian, we're going to get your decision first. You came here to test the relationship. You said that. We sent you out with Elizabeth. You guys had a pretty sexy time. You showed off some body parts, which you actually did here on the stage. Thank you. Your decision, please.
Elizabeth is the best type of date I could possibly be set up on. She's great. I like everything about her. And, you know, Carrie, having a guy sleep in the same bed with her, I mean, that was it right there. I've had a change of heart.
Change of heart. Elizabeth, does that work for you?
No.
No?
No, that doesn't work for me. We had a really good time on the date, and I had, you know, a lot of fun, but what he just put her through, I would never put myself in that position.
Okay. All right, Elizabeth, thank you. Carrie, now, Brian said he had a change of heart. We sent you out with Jeff. You guys had a really romantic time. He did, as we heard, spent the night with you. What's your decision?
Well, after sitting here and listening to Brian bash me and call me dingbat, and after going out with a guy like Jeff, who's respectful and treats me well, I'm gonna have a change of heart.
Change of heart. All right. And Jeff, that worked for you?
Yes.
You're okay with that?
Oh yeah.
Now, Brian, this doesn't happen very often on Change of Heart, but you have been double dumped, and that's a very rare occurrence on the show. And I hope that you have learned something from being here. That's our show for today. Thanks to Brian and Elizabeth. Good luck to Carrie and Jeff. See you next time on Change of Heart.